And just like that, the final show before WrestleMania 40 has just went off the airwaves. Any final build that this company was going to produce for these stories and feuds has officially been completed. The only thing left to do is for these boys and gals to go out there this weekend, starting tomorrow night, and put on the shows, performances, and matches of their careers. This is Smackdown, April 5th, 2024, the go-home show to WrestleMania 40. 40 years of mania, and it all starts less than 24 hours away. We're going to get right into it. Not a lot of time to waste, a lot to go over. BC hopes to be live with you guys tomorrow night for a live review, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I will be live at WrestleMania Sunday night for night 2. So sometime within the following 24 hours, we will have night 2's review. So it is going to be a monstrous weekend on the channel as BC has you covered with all things WrestleMania 40. This show, the go-home show, started off with Kevin Owens in the KO show. His guest is one of his 2 opponents at WrestleMania, the triple threat for the United States Championship. Of course, we are talking Randy Orton. KO and RO are middle of the ring discussing their dislike for Logan Paul. The crowd is chanting yes in agreement. Owens says, hey, there was a guy who used to do that, referencing the yes chant. I thought that was an LOL moment. Logan Paul then appears on the Tron, and it's a mini Tron because this is not just a legit sellout. They were so packed, they took the original staging down. Now, the Hall of Fame obviously has something to do with that as well, but they had their alternate set, so the Jumbotron was more like a mini Tron, but Logan Paul was on it nonetheless. And Logan Paul isn't in that arena. Paul is actually on the ramp of the WrestleMania 40 stage at Lincoln Financial Field. So pretty cool how they were using both locations. I kind of had flashbacks of when Vince McMahon was buying WCW and Shane McMahon was in the middle of a WCW ring down in Florida, and Vince McMahon was on WWE Raw, 2 different locations, but it was intriguing. So you had Owens and Orton in the arena, and then across the street, Logan Paul is at the stadium on that set. I just thought it's simplistic, but that's freaking awesome, man. Like, if you have those resources, tap into them. Send a camera crew over there with Logan and do something unique. So I really like this. Owens says that stadium is right across the street. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Orton says, yup. They drop their mics, and Orton and Owens catapult out of the ring and up through the crowd en route to the stadium. Now, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller pop out from underneath the ring like a couple of whack-a-moles or a groundhog waiting to see if they see their own shadow. They pop out of the ring. Wade Barrett's funny. He's like, they may have mistimed their cue if they were going to attack Orton and Owens. They were running a little bit late, obviously, so they must be on rock time. Anyway, they go up the crowd in pursuit of Owens and Orton, who were already through the crowd. They were trying to find the nearest exit to go across the street to get to Logan Paul at the stadium. And again, Waller and Theory are right behind them. So this was just it was funny, right? You're thinking, okay, this could be, if you keep going back to this could be something fun. They didn't go back to it too often, but they did pick up right where they left off after the first commercial break. Because when we come back from break, Owens is stealing a golf cart. He takes a golf cart, and Orton is jumping on the back of it. Now, Orton's picked up a few pounds, right? So the golf cart kind of gets weighed down a little bit. You could see it. And Owens can't get it started, right? He can't, it's like moving a little bit, but he can't go. And so Orton's like, is it my weight? Owens is like, let's go. Orton's like, I'm on. finally Owens is able to get this thing kickstarted, and the golf cart slowly but surely is off and running. And by the way, Waller and Theory were in hot pursuit, like 50 feet behind, right? So they start chasing after the golf cart. Again, simplistic, but so damn awesome. I truly love this type of stuff. You know, when you bring in the golf cart, only fun things can happen. I remember Owens himself was getting ran over by Roman Reigns. You guys remember that? Roman Reigns tracked down Owens and just basically just runs him over. And how about Sammy Guevara? That was the best one. Matt Hardy, because of his expressions. Was it Omega that was like hanging off the side? I forget. But Matt Hardy was like just chasing down Sammy. Sammy's running for his life. And he just runs over Sammy Guevara. Anyway, I kind of had visions of like Logan Paul trying to like run away from the stadium to get back to the arena. And he's being chased down by Owens and Orton. That did not happen, unfortunately, but it was still a fun way to start the show. You could have started this with like some stupid 6-man tag that has nothing to do with WrestleMania, that gets nobody excited, or you can take the first 20 minutes and have some fun, get creative, right? You have a stadium right there with everything already set up. Have Logan over there. You got a golf cart? Have some fun where you have something interchanging between the stadium and the arena. This is all it takes. This is all I ever ask for, man. I'm not asking to move mountains. I'm just asking to think outside the box and get semi-creative. Just semi. And once you start seeing all these cool things you can do, it'll open up Pandora's box and you'll start doing a lot more of this on even bigger and grander scales. This was good. This was fun. It was unique. And we would go back to this later, too, by the way. Was that toward the end of hour one, Logan Paul would show up at the arena. We'll go over that in just a couple of minutes. But that was the first, I'd say, about 20 minutes of this show. Hella fun. The golf cart, right? Jump on. All aboard to WrestleMania 40. All aboard to the stadium. And just watching Orton's face, man. It's like, all right, I'm on, but do I totally trust Owens running this vehicle? I don't know. His face said it all. Too funny. Then we go into the first match of the night. This was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So Omos and Ricochet were the only ones to get superstar entrances. Bronson, by the way, got half of a superstar entrance. They picked up on Bronson when he was like on the steps. So they're like, all right, we'll have you just outside of the ring, right? But you can't get the full entrance, but we'll have you going up the steps. Only Ricochet and Omos got the superstar entrances. Everyone else got the dreaded jobber entrance already placed in the ring. Now, the highlight in this whole Andre the Giant Battle Royal was Tozawa and Otis. They were the massive favorites, and you really heard that at the end of this Battle Royal. Unfortunately for Tozawa, he took a nasty landing on his elimination as Ivar launched him over the top rope and what was supposed to be onto Otis, but Ivar put some extra oomph on that launch, and Tozawa landed straight on his dome piece. Two officials immediately attended to him. We wish the best for Tozawa. We definitely hope that dude is okay, because that was a gnarly landing. Bronson Reed wins this thing. Bronson eliminates Ivar for the W. This was interesting because both are heels, Ivar and Bronson. You could have easily just had Otis. If you wanted the two big brutes, you could have just done Otis and Bronson if Bronson was going to win anyway. Doing a heel versus heel for a battle royal victory, I'm not sure who wins in this. I mean, you're going to get a babyface reaction, right? Obviously, because you just won a battle royal. So whoever wins is going to get a little bit of a cheer. And then on the flip side, is one of these two heels going to out-heel the other before the elimination? Not trying to confuse anybody, but it's just weird that you would have Otis right there, and it's Ivar and Bronson ending this thing. Either way, Bronson scores this. This is just everybody that doesn't have a match for Mania. So it's you want to say this leads to something, but with Baron Corbin, it just never did. With so many people that have won this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, it just never did. Omos ever win this, by the way? Omos, they tried to make him like a heavy favorite in this, and he got wrapped up with the Creed brothers and got taken out. But from what I remember, everybody that's won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, they didn't just get catapulted within a year or two to the championship title. In fact, I believe it's the opposite. So hopefully this does something for Bronson. First, you got to really connect with the crowd. They have to give a damn about Bronson. Then booking has to back him, and then Bronson's got to take it the rest of the way. We'll see. Then we went into, where'd we go from there? Oh, it was back to Logan Paul. See, this is what I like. You start off with something fun, and then you keep going back to it. Now, they didn't go back to it as much as I would like, but they did go right back to it after the Battle Royal. Logan Paul is backstage at the arena, not at the stadium. We go to commercial break. When we come back from break, Logan Paul hits the ring, and he says he set up Theory and Waller perfectly at the stadium to ambush Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. However, Owens and Orton are now underneath the ring. Now they're the whack-a-moles. They're the groundhogs coming out to see their shadow or not, but they're coming out from underneath that ring, and eventually Logan Paul realizes, I don't think they're at the stadium. So he turns around. Sure enough, there's KO, there's RO. So LP tries to hightail it. He tries to bolt, but to no avail. Owens ends up hitting him with a stunner, and Orton hits him with an RKO. So this was one of those situations where Logan Paul was taking both faces' moves and laid out. I was going to say looking up at the lights, but he wasn't. He was face first, knocked out in the canvas. This leads me to believe that he's possibly walking out of Mania with that championship. It doesn't look like Owens or Orton's going to win that title. So we'll see what they actually produce. We'll see what Paul Levesque McMahon goes with. But to have him dropped, laid out by both faces, looking like that as champion, and then this weekend he just loses his title, doesn't make sense. It's usually not what WWE does. So we'll see, but that's a little telling there that most likely this dude's walking out with that championship. Now, the end of hour number 1 was Zelina Vega versus Elektra Lopez. Just give them the rest of hour 1 and all of hour 2, and I'm happy because Zelina Vega, wow, that is hot on another level. And Lopez, you add her to the mix. Just sit back, kick your feet up, get a beverage, and just enjoy Zelina Vega and Lopez. Unfortunately, this was not that long. Dragon Lee was taken out backstage beforehand, so there was already this concern over LWO. Rey Mysterio is at ringside, though, supporting Zelina. But for the heel, for Lopez, she had Dominic Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and Andrade all at ringside. There's just too many distractions for Vega. So Lopez is able to hit the electric shock, and she pins Zelina Vega. Now, post-match, the numbers game favors the heels, and Ray is attacked. However, plot twist, Andrade turns on LDF and joins forces with the LWO, helping out Ray. And I gotta tell you guys, watching Vega and Andrade embrace in a gigantic hug, Zelina jumps into the arms of Andrade, and Andrade just catapults her up into an even bigger hug. That was just awesome. For those that don't know, they started this WWE, NXT, WWE journey together, and Zelina and Andrade just worked so well together, like Lana and Rusev. It's a shame that they were booked so poorly because Lana and Rusev and WWE was so damn good together. They just worked. It was just a perfect match as far as pro wrestling on-screen couple. And they were a real-life couple for a long time as well. I think they just recently split. But for Zelina and Andrade, man, they just meshed so well. It was actually it was a big letdown when they split them up because they were so good together. So to see them embrace like that, it was one of those oh yeah moments, because I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest. Andrade's been gone for so long, just got back, very few interactions with Zelina. So when I saw them embrace and how like big this was for them, that's when BC had his oh yeah moment. Wait a second, that is something special. And you could see that emotion in them. It's just really well done. And if you're wondering, the Mania match has been changed. Dragon Lee is out from the storyline attack backstage. Andrade is now teaming with Rey Mysterio. They will be taking on Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio, Night 1 WrestleMania Saturday night. Moving on, Naomi with, I believe, a new entrance. If she has had this since she's gotten back, I just must have missed it, because this is the first time that BC has caught this entrance where it says Naoi. How do you spell it? Naomi. That's how you spell Naomi. I got this. I went through 11-ish years of school. Naomi spelled out, and then it's this glow. Again, it's new to BC. If it's been around, this is my first time catching it. So I don't know. Maybe WrestleMania season's finally getting to me, maybe. But this was the first time that I really saw and heard this entrance, and I gotta say, it just elevated Naomi even more. Then you bring out Bianca Belair. I don't know what she's wearing. She's got like this cowgirl out, literally like cow print, but there's never been a finer looking cow than Bianca, let me tell you. They all got the cowboy hats on, so I don't know what they were going for, but holla if you hear me, says old school Scotty Steiner, because damn, they were looking good. And they go to the ring. They cut a little bit of a promo. They say, damage control. You're used to the numbers game being in your favor, but now you weren't expecting this. And sure enough, Jade Cargill comes to the ring with her entrance. They're going for like the AEW. Remember, like Winter is Coming? They used to have all the like the howling wind sound and the snow and the blue and the black, and this is like totally Winter is Coming vibes that Paul Levesque McMahon just jacked from Tony Khan. But Paul Levesque McMahon's probably like, hey, what? You don't own snow. You don't have a trademark on snow or the wind effect and the lights. But I do kind of feel like they did jack that from AEW, but I love the entrance, man. I'll say it like this. The best way to put this, Naomi and Bianca are bona fide superstars. Jade Cargill is a super spectacle. The three together is a straight wow factor. I mean, you just look at them and you're like, wow, like what three ladies could possibly take them out? You'd have to get the three of the best to unite, and only then could they try to stand a chance. I mean, you have this one of the most strongest ladies, one of the most athletic ladies, one of the most powerful presence of all ladies. You put them all together, it's just a super team. It literally is a super team. Anyway, this promo, short and simple. Best way to put it. It was short. It was simple. They call themselves the Big Three. Jade says that at WrestleMania, damage control will be in the eye of the storm. That was really the only two talking points from this. They're the Big Three, so you got to think that that's going to be their name going forward whenever they're together. The Big Three, and then at WrestleMania, damage control is in the eye of the storm. So it looks like whoever Jade is feuding with, that's going to be kind of the tagline. You know, you're in the eye of the storm. So it fits her. You know, the storm is coming. She's going to have all these storm shirts. She's probably going to sell a ton of merchandise. Go for it, man. I didn't mind this. The crowd was completely not feeling it. And I mean completely not feeling it. You can go back, look and listen. The whole promo, they were checked out. They just didn't care. They were waiting for it to kick up, but it never did. Again, it was short and simplistic. So this type of promo was never going to really kick up, and the audience was waiting for it to do such. So when it just ended abruptly with damage control, you're in the eye of the storm, and it just ends with them pointing at the WrestleMania sign, everybody is like, Is that finally over? So that was sad that it didn't land with the audience live, and it probably didn't land with most watching. I understand what it was supposed to do, though. It established the three as a unit. That was the biggest takeaway that WWE wanted you to know. So in that aspect, they accomplished it. Was it fun? Did it elevate this 6-woman tag? Probably not. But they did establish the three as a unit. So my issue wasn't that. My issue is, where is Damage Control? Why are we not adding fuel to this fire, right? The match was just made for Mania just last week, guys. And we didn't add or build to it this week. We just kind of rested on it. Like, that's it. We made the match last week. Now, just talk about how the match is actually going to happen. Well, you don't want to add to that a little bit? Like this is the first time that Jade even came across Damage Control. So don't you want to really establish a feud between Jade and them? That was my thing. You could have easily brought them out and done something special. It's the go-home show. Let's act like it. And then we went into the New Catch Republic defeating Waller and Theory. So it was just a rough night for Waller and Theory. Bate pins Waller with the Birmingham Hammer. Post-match, Judgment Day hits the ring and drops both teams. I don't know. This is just their way to kind of remind everybody that there's a big multi-man schmaz tag match at Mania. And this is our way to remind you. And if you forgot who the tag team title holders even are, there they are. It's Judgment Day. And then we went into the main event, Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa. Jimmy Uso interferes. Solo is disqualified. This now puts Solo Sikoa's incredible losing streak to 38. 38 consecutive losses since annihilating John Cena for Solo. 38 losses in a row now. He is reaching 40-loss territory straight. Wild, man. It's the opposite of Billy Goldberg, basically. In this match, post-match, that was the match, disqualified. Jey is going to take the W because Jimmy interferes. And then you have... who was it? Cody Rhodes and Sethington, correct? Yes, Cody and Seth, simultaneously to Cody's music. Thank goodness we spared ourselves the "Oh zombie" chant sing-along from Sethington. So Cody and Seth hit the ring to not just even the odds in the numbers game, but they had the advantage now, and they put the stomp into the bloodline. Cody ends the show on the microphone. He says he's going to smack the People's Champion back into the Rock. And Sunday, he's going to dethrone Roman Reigns. And it ends with an interesting line. He says, when one good story ends, another better one begins. Now, that's interesting because Paul Levesque McMahon and WWE, since up until tonight, they've been staying away from the whole actually finishing the story saga, right? That they're kind of staying away from Cody actually saying that it's finish the story or bust. In fact, Paul Levesque McMahon likes to keep saying, he said it 10 more times in the past 48 hours, that the story never really ends, right? The story always keeps going. So every time Cody talks about finishing the story, Paul Levesque McMahon puts a stomp on it. Is Paul Levesque McMahon gonna put that title on Cody Rhodes this weekend, or is he letting Roman Reigns take Hulk Hogan's record? And we're going to start the conversation of Bruno Sammartino. That would take years to do, by the way. But Levesque McMahon's hero is Bruno. So you know he would love to have that scenario, even if talked about only for a few months. But was there enough backlash to just this whole WrestleMania season that he's just going to go, you know what, hands up in the air, I'm just give it to Cody. Because this is the first time that they looked finally past this finish the story that we've been doing for 2 years. This is the first time where now they're talking about the next story. And to say that on air, you got to at least believe that, does Levesque McMahon even have a planned finish right now? Is this going to be like 39 where it's just one of those last minute audibles? Last year was the wrong audible. Will this year be better? We'll tune in, man. Here we go. It's WrestleMania. Night 1, Night 2. Saturday, Sunday, WrestleMania 40 years of this event. Whether you guys love this WrestleMania season, felt like it was a WrestleMania season or not, I hear you. It's been the wildest WrestleMania season that I've ever followed along with, and I can't always say it was for the best, but it certainly gave us so much to talk about, and the only thing left to do for these boys and gals is to go out there this weekend, and as I said earlier, put on the shows, performances, and matches of your careers. If you do that, the world takes notice and you will be on a whole nother level, higher than what you came into Mania at. I've seen so many do it in the past. I can't wait to see who the shining stars, with an S at the end, stars, way more than one, how many stars are created this weekend. Until next time, and there will be that next time, WrestleMania. Stay locked on the channel. Top guys, we're out. It's time. BC in the unit saying check you.